everybody, and welcome to Voyages of Dusk and Dawn. Meko, where'd you go?
Hey, I'm here. Yeah.
Your cam died.
Yeah.
Okay, well, while you get that set up, how is everybody doing today? How is our fresh party?
Well, I'm doing great. Wow, what a cool intro. New intro. Awesome.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, it was important that we crossed off the names of the former players. You know, I felt needed. Yeah. One of our characters is dead. Not dead, but sick, out. They have caught some sort of Velician fever and is just they're incapacitated. You can leave them at an inn. They can catch up with you. You can come back and pick them up later. It's also possible this fever might just take them and they could die. There's no point in waiting around for them. So, you know, we hope they survive the trip. They're in the care of the doctors now. And may they live through this. That's how we are solving.
Very good. I'm sure he'll be able to walk it off. Now we have a tower to go explore.
Yes, we do. Is there any prep that you need to take before going there? You've got a map of the area. You basically know how to get there. You just walk along some of these trails, and then you know Bob's your uncle, and you'll be there. It'll be fine.
What could go
I'm
wrong?
all set to go. How about you two?
Can we ask people around what sort of creatures can we find in the swamps?
Ah, well, you see, this area used to be quite peaceful. You can ask someone at the tavern, you know, but a couple decades ago, monsters started coming through the area. Now it's roving bands of critters, whatever happens to be passing through the area at the time. Usually some sort of organized or semi-organized group of monstrous humanoids. Could be anything from kobolds to goblins to ogres. Rarely giants. You know, you'll see them coming from a long way off, so I wouldn't worry about them too much. But you'd probably, you know, if you're trying to travel somewhere, I would wait until there was a caravan headed that direction. Safety in numbers and all that. You know, where are you trying to go?
We're trying to take the southeast road and go toward the eastern side of the land. Around Carrock, a bit north.
You're headed east, huh? Yeah. Well, you can usually get to Redstone Port pretty well. There, you know, monsters tend to like to hide in ambush spots. So the open grasslands usually pretty easy, except for the smaller critters. It's the forests, the woods, any place with cliffs that are kind of dangerous. So here to Redstone Port, no problem. But if you're going from Valis to Dumont or Redstone Port to Kaelwyn, you know, those are the areas where you might want some, like I said, from Dumont to Rivenbrook, those are the areas where you're probably going to want some sort of cover, some sort of protection.
Alrighty, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Koibu, is there a place I can buy some climbing supplies?
Yes.
Maybe two climbing harnesses, and crampons, and some iron spikes.
Absolutely. Climbing harnesses.
Do you think that can come off the party expenses? Things we can use. Maybe we need to climb the tower from the outside instead of going in if it's clothes or something.
What does it cost?
Harnesses are 2 gold each. Crampons are 4 gold each. And then you said you want some pittons. They're 2 silver each. And you know, you need a piton every, I don't know, 10 feet if you want to be safe, 20 feet if you want to be a little risky.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll take 2 climbing harnesses and 1 set of crampons.
Okay.
All right, the ship will, the captain and the ship will provide you 10 of that gold.
There you go.
Hi, sounds good, Captain.
Excellent. I think that's it, right? We're gonna just leave the big city of Valis. Someone want to draw me a route you plan to take so I can, you know, describe the peaceful and lovely journey
Well, since you mentioned it, does there happen to be a caravan moving towards Rivenbrook or East Havenbrook or Squireport or anywhere in the east direction along the south road?
You can go out to the main gates and ask around, because that's how we find out about these things. You leave the quiet little tavern and head out into the big, bustling city of industry with the sound of pounding hammers and scraping stones. You look up in the skies and you can see, 4 bronze dragons just sort of whirling on the what do you call them? The warm air that rises, taking their turns above you. People scurry to and fro, busy with the countless tasks of the day. You are in luck. There is a caravan headed from Valis all the way out to... where is it over here? Fort Roke, way over here. It's a long journey. They're going to be headed that way for... Oh, God, what is this? This is like a couple hundred miles. This is a 300 miles, it's called 350, and they probably make about 15 miles of progress a day. So it's about a month-long journey that this caravan is going to be headed out for. And they're going to be leaving in 2 days. It's a big one.
Okay.
It's a proper kingdom reinforcing a neighboring kingdom nearby, or I shouldn't say reinforcing, but trading military supplies. Valis makes a lot of good weapons, got a lot of good steel. Fort Roke, not so much, but Fort Roke does have access to the sorts of timber you need to build really good ballistas. The nearby forest to Valis is lovely, but you don't have that same old-growth oak out here. So a nice old-fashioned arms deal is going down. And yes, you can join the caravan for the low price of... 1 gold per town that you're going to. So you guys would be going 2 towns over, or 3 towns over. So it'd be 3 gold ahead to get there.
It sounds like since we're paying,
Hmm?
we aren't expected to help, right?
That's right.
We're civilians.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Go ahead, Theodore.
I was just gonna say it sounds like it's well worth it, Captain.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Are we just walking, Neal, or is there like a carriage or something?
Oh, no. You get to walk. If you want to bring a carriage, you're more than welcome to, and they'll put you in a place at the back of the caravan. Or you can go on foot and walk alongside them. But this is like, we are going, you can follow along with us. We're not going to provide food for you. We're not going to stop for you if, you get caught in something. And, the caravan's going. You can travel with them for protection. It's not a service they're providing. It's just welcomed protection.
Okay, I'm gonna switch from full chain to chain chest and leather limbs, because I think I'll need the carry capacity.
And where are you going to
sort my character sheet? Move
the rest of your stuff that you're not carrying? Like your lighter, your heavier armor, where's it going to live?
If we're able to put it on the ship, then I'll do that. If not, then I'll try and sell it, and I don't really care how much I get for it.
Okay. It would be, you could haul some stuff down to the river in the middle of the night and transform the ship in the middle of the night by the river. Otherwise, you're in a town, and there's absolutely no way, especially in daylight, to get that done.
What do you think, Captain? Is it worth it? We might need the armor when we're moving, but I can't afford to. I need to carry rations.
Yeah, you can travel light. We've got the protection of these goods. Well,
okay.
We have 2 days to prepare, so we'll get that settled.
What are you selling here?
Cool.
Chest chain?
We're just stashing away stuff in a boat away from town.
We're going to do it in the boat. Because you got a couple days. That's fine. Roll me just a quick D100, Theodore, while you go to stash this stuff. It's probably fine. You'd have to roll exceedingly bad for anything inappropriate to happen. Yeah, it's fine. You
65.
you make your way down to the river at night or in an evening, transform the boat, put all the stuff in the boat, get out any supplies that you might need. Go ahead and move any goods in and out that you want right now, and then you'll probably like spend a night in a tavern outside the town because they close the gates at night, like any reasonable place would. That is 1 to 3 days of living expenses. So someone shell out 2 gold for the party, and 9 gold for the caravan, and we can caravan our way.
Oh, I'll take care of that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So it is about 100 miles at 15 miles a day. This is going to take you about a week to get to Carl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The journey with the caravan, so uneventful, so peaceful. You know, there's a forest, there's some grasslands, there's some people who come out of the woods from some nearby villages to trade with you, to bring supplies to sell to the caravan when the caravan rests, to pick up things that they're selling. You don't know why people are saying this is a dangerous road. It's just an easy breezy walk. Sure, sometimes it's a little foggy. Sure, the dragons rolling through the skies are a little bit scary, but they're not coming for you. They're just, doing their own thing, swooping and soaring out there. Yes, you do pass some burned out villages that look like they were completely destroyed, but that looks like they were destroyed maybe 10 years ago or 8 years ago or something like that. And yes, amongst the caravan, there are many people who are missing, fingers or limbs or eyes or have, walk with a limp. Sure, there's a lot of wounded and mildly maimed people about. And yes, the peasants coming out of the woods to trade with you do look fairly desperate for your business. But that's just the times, Otherwise, it's an easy walk, not a monster to be found. The guards you're traveling with, they're all wearing heavy chains. They've got spears and crossbows. There's a couple of knights on horseback as well. And it all seems to be working out pretty well. You can tell very clearly there's not a single spellcaster around. And during some of your breaks and your nights at campfires as you're making friends amongst the caravan, you'll hear people speak about clerics and wizards as if they're witches and warlocks. There's a bit of derision used. People saying that those pretending to be clerics are just charlatans abusing your faith in the divine for their own benefit. The gods took away all magic from the world at the end of the last age, at the start of this age, and anyone peddling magic is not actually a cleric because all the real clerics left. That's all witches and warlocks and monsters. And any wizard that is nearby or around you, you just hear these sorts of stories being passed about, really ought to be strung up. There's a couple of bawdy songs that are played that have to do with and first we put the first wizard up on the gaffers, and then we all had a drink. And then we put the second wizard's foot up on the gaffers, and we had a drink. And then we put his other foot up on the gaffer. It's a drinking song, and every time you put a different part of the wizard up on the hanging pole, everybody gets to take a drink. And it's silly and fun, and everyone's having a good time. And no one is suspicious because you're not casting any spells, and you're just traveling with them nice and peacefully. But you get the distinct impression that the people of this area have a deep-seated loathing of all things spellcasting. Is there anything you'd like to...
That sounds fun.
Yeah, is there anything you'd like
I'll join in all the anti-wizardry and anti-cleric, and I practiced Elysian for 3 months on the boat over here. I'll take the opportunity to practice talking amongst everyone. Everyone knows I'm obviously not very good at it, but I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing your best, and you've got pretty high int. Give me an int check. Elysian is an ancient derivative of your own language, so 28. You're picking it up pretty well. You're a smart cookie. You are well-read, well-spoken. It's not the most difficult language in the world. Yeah. When people ask what you're about, and who you are and what you're up to, you know, because they can tell you're from far away. What's the story the party has?
I'm a merchant from Drakus. These two are my bodyguards and traveling business associates.
That's so easy, and it's almost the truth. Mostly the truth. Yeah. Okay. Well, other party members, anything in particular you want to do or say or learn from these people as we travel, or just keep our heads low and get to our destination?
You know, speaking about this merchant stuff, I was reminded that while we have lots of stuff in Drakus we want from Valis, I'll take a note at, like, while we were staying in Valis, if they had good food or spices. I think Drakus might have a lot of those, given where it's from. We have Spice Islands, or whatever else Valis might be lacking that Drakus has.
They seem to not have any, like, spicy peppers. You know, jalapenos, chilies, that sort of thing just doesn't exist out here. They've got vanilla, which is lovely, but they don't have, you know, that burning, spicy plant systems out here. They have pepper, black pepper. That's the closest that they've got to spice, to like proper spicy spice. Yeah. Let's see, what else do you have? What's your culinary interest, Vincent? Are you a big foodie? Are you just a wizard who eats to feed himself?
I eat to feed myself, but I have, knowing that we were heading to a far off place, I would have looked at like stuff that Drakus is known for.
Yeah, well, your Spice Islands, place that Vincent Mapper's intimately familiar with, has a whole bunch of these small, low bushes with really hot peppers and hot flavors that grow off of them. They don't have those out here. You've also noticed that they are missing cinnamon as just a type of tree, and nutmeg. In terms of like the big things that I think Vincent might be aware of, cinnamon, nutmeg, and spicy peppers are clearly lacking in the Valesian diet. It means no cinnamon rolls, which is a great and terrible shame I don't wish upon anyone.
Oh no. Okay, good to know.
Okay.
That's information I'll file away for when we get back to Drakus someday.
Mm-hmm.
But great. If we make it to Kavarorg, that's all good with me.
Okay. That is pretty much what's going to happen if no one else wants to say anything with them. Yeah. Let's come into the town of Karo. It is a busy little seaside town. It's got a small palisade wall that goes up all the way around it, including across the front near where the ocean is. I guess it's worth noting that your path did take you along the coast, but every time that you stopped, you did find a spot where you were stopping fairly far from the coast. And the one time that you stopped near-ish to the coast, like within 100 yards of the coast, it was on top of like a ridge where there was a cliff down to the water below. So when you get into Rivenbrook and Karo, you'll notice that their palisade walls do extend along the ocean front. And that there's like a couple of gates that can be opened by anyone on the inside. They don't seem to be locked. No one seems to be worried about, you know, thieves in the night. It's probably those creatures that crawled out of the sea that one time you were hanging out in Redstone. That's the impression you're getting here. But otherwise, Karo's a nice little town. A lot of fishermen, bunch of farmers, no forests nearby, a few copse of trees here and there, some trees within town, a few little orchards outside of town, but no proper woods anywhere nearby. You can look to your north and see the mountain range up there. The caravan spends one night in town before taking off the next day. And you were welcomed in town as travelers without any real concerns or of any kind. Yeah, welcome to Colorado. Cozy little town. Dirt roads, palisade walls, thatched roofs, half-timber buildings.
Well, during our travels, especially near the water, I'll ask about the, and I'll have Gustav translate, about the undead in the water. When did that start happening?
Ah, yeah. That was... That was 8 years ago. And they'll tell you the tale. We've been fending off Barassi Empire, those people from Bergshire. Been in them for years. Their monsters have been coming in. Their pirates have been sailing by. Their orcs attacking coastlines, raiding islands, burning villages. That's when they brought their necromancer. You know, the undead. They don't like the sunlight. It burns their bones, sears their flesh, drives them out. Makes it real easy to handle the undead. Makes them real localized. Up in the mountains, there's some undead left. In the big forests, sure, plenty undead. But out here near Cobb Road, out near the Myers, ain't no problems with undead. But 8 years ago, on a foggy afternoon, they started coming out of the seas. Every town along the coast has its own story, but here, they crawled out of the sea on a foggy afternoon. Not just people back then, but octopus, some dolphins, undead dolphins beached themselves on the shoreline, tried to knock over people in boats. They crawled up into the towns, started pulling at people's ankles. Everyone climbed up onto their rooftops, fled into the fields. And when the fog burned off later in the afternoon, those undead that were still out and open, well, they started to fry. The other ones managed to crawl back in the sea. Some of them stayed in houses and basements. We were still finding them a couple days later. Killed a bunch of people that day. Most people were able to run away. Now, where these bodies come from, I couldn't rightly say. Some of them didn't look local. A lot of them did. But yeah, there's been a long tradition of burial at sea out here. I guess those skeletons, well, they ended up somewhere. Flesh torn off most of them. Ever since then, every night, they come to the surface, looking for prey. Now, we learn real fast, they only come out at night, or when it's really foggy, and you just keep the gates shut, and the creatures, well, they can't do too much. They're fairly slow moving, and that's the way it is. It's the way it's been for years now.
You'd think over years you'd have whittled down their numbers.
He nods to himself. Well, not a lot of people feel real inclined to go out there and risk life and limb hacking them to bits when you can just stay inside. I mean, how many dead have there been as compared to living? And the other thing is, I got this part of the story. This is maybe the worst part of it all. That foggy day, it wasn't just them coming out of the seas. It was also them coming out of the grounds around here and then crawling into the seas. There used to be a cemetery north of town. Well, I guess the land is still there, but all the graves are empty. It's a bit of a problem. People still die. We still have to bury our dead. And they stay dead these days. But we make sure when we bury them now to put heavy stones over their coffins, just in case, just in case they don't stay down. So, whittle the numbers down? Sure. But you compare all the people who've ever died in this area to all the people who are alive now, and well, that's a lot of dead. Well, that's what you get when you use magic, That's what happens when people think they know better than the way the gods intended. That's what happens when people start messing with spellcraft and witchery and demonic magics of all sorts.
Yes, and out of all those magics, necromancy must be the worst.
Oh, certainly. Yep. But you know what they say about the others. Divination's just a gateway drug to necromancy. People start casting stones, trying to read the flight patterns of birds. Before you know it, they're raising your aunt and uncle from the dead to get their will signed over to them. Real messy stuff. Anyway.
Cleric.
Wizards, cleric. I mean, what's the difference, right? All the real clerics are gone anyway.
Okay, great. So we'll part our ways at Karorg, and I think my general plan is to follow them 6 hours out, so they can clear out anything in the way, if there is anything.
Right, just kind of follow behind.
Did we see any undead on the journey now?
No, you camped away from the ocean, or camped, you know, a little bit away and up on a ridge so that they didn't come towards you. Caravan seemed pretty well practiced at picking sites that would, you know, be defensible and not have to fight. Right? Why risk your life?
That sage, didn't he say the tower was around like that area where there was a giant battle? If at night all the soldiers that were felled, they might, you know, come out.
They might. We'll have to make sure to go when it's bright and day. Which reminds me, when did this undead phenomenon happen where they started burning? Is that recent?
That is... pull up my calendar of historical events. That was 11 years ago.
We'll have to thank our lucky stars for whatever miracle happened 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well then, party. Time to head up. Now we've done traveled for 15 days. That's 15 rations. Or not 7 days. That's 7 rations apiece. So 21 rations off of the boat supplies. I don't know how much you picked up, Theodore, to carry with you.
I just had 5 from earlier, but
well, you could have bought some food from the forest people and at the different towns along the way. So why don't we just do? We'll assume everyone had 5, so that's 2, 4, 6 times 2 silver. Let's just call it a gold in expenses getting here.
Cool.
And then from Kalro to the tower, you know, with your cartography skills, you pull out a little compass and whatnot. It's about 22 miles as the crow flies, give or take. That's a full
So I'll dock the ship.
Go ahead.
2 gold so that we have enough rations from Karo to the tower and
Excellent.
back. And sorry.
Perfect. I guess we're picking up our last bit of rations here. And you know the area around it is a bit of a marsh. You know, there's a trail that leads up to a close spot, and then it's maybe a 10-mile walk. You're not exactly sure where the tower is in this area, but it should be about 5-10 miles off the trail. Through a swamp. It'll be fine.
Okay, we will set our schedule such that we want to end up at that crossroads and camp overnight, and in the very early morning, we will, like when it's still dark, and the sun is just rising, I'd like to start heading towards the tower.
Head out into the swamp in the early morning. Okay. This is and this is crossroads. All right, you can get to the crossroads with no problem, I think. Yeah. And the next day, in the early morning, the 18th of July, the day that that 3/4 of your vanilla will be ready to go back in Valis. or redstone port it was actually. They'll hold it for you for a while. We sit at the edge of the marshlands. The marshes here don't have a lot of trees. It's just sort of uneven ground, and where it dips low, sometimes it's a little watery. You get a little bit of duckweed growing on top of it. Insects buzz about during the day, especially in the early morning. It's just a gentle, sort of goopy, watery area with mountains to the north. You know, somewhere in theory, you know, northeast of you, the tower should be.
We can't see it from here.
No, not from where you're standing.
Okay.
Did you bring your walking stick, Theodore? We want to make sure we don't sink in this swamp. Say yes. Say yes.
I did put that 10-foot pole on the boat. But maybe
My
that's
God.
excessive.
Well, if you put it on the boat, it's not. You can go buy another 10-foot pole for a silver.
Yeah. Can I can I get a 10-foot pole?
You don't have your own money?
Or just a tree?
Oh,
No, I was asking for Neal rather than
Oh.
asking.
Yeah, you can buy one for a silver. You could go start breaking off of trees in front of people's houses, or go into someone's orchard and break off trees, but there's not much in the way of woods out here.
Okay, yeah, I'll add to my sheet.
Okay. Where is... All right, let's set out into the swamp. Why don't we take a short break before we head into the swamp and come back on the other side in the swamp. See you then. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Voyages of Dusk and Dawn. So, party, you wake up on this day at the edge of the swamp, ready to go in. And you notice, after walking around ever so slightly, that there is indeed a road, an old cobblestone road that heads into the swamp. This must be one of those ancient roads that used to lead to the tower so long ago. Doesn't look well maintained. The cobblestones are broken up here and there. Bushes grow up amongst it. The occasional tree nearby. Grasses sprouting between the stones. The swamp is before you.
It is welcome to have a path even as faded as it is. Travel down it.
We head in. What is the marching order of the party?
I go first.
I'll go second.
Okay.
Unless anyone objects.
Stop bringing up the rear. As we head into the moors, the swamps, the mountains to the north, and the plains all around, and no one nearby to hear us scream, the cobblestone road gets lost for a little while, and then it reappears again. Then it gets lost again. The area is intermittently watery and solid ground, sometimes soft ground that sponges as you step. Where there is a path, it's easy to follow. Where the path fails, sometimes you have to double back and go around, or else wade deep into the water. How comfortable is the party with wading into the water? Because it's not like a crystal clear lake where you can see how deep it is. It's going to be the sort of thing where you step and poke with a pole in front of you and like inch your way across, or you just plunge through and hope you don't plummet to the bottoms.
Well, I follow
Yes,
Theodore.
how easy, or how substantial an area of water is this? Is this like a puddle, or is this like, you know, you're fording a stream?
There will be times where it's just a puddle and you can walk around it, and there will be times where you are encountering, 20 feet of water, and you could try and walk around and find a path around it, or you could just plow right on through. Just trying to get a feel for because if you just plow through things, you're going to be faster, but it's a little more dangerous, a little more sketchy. If you take the time to walk around, you'll take more time, but you won't be exposing yourself to unnecessary dangers. It's a risk assessment we're making.
I think if it's more than a few strides, then I'll try and either, poke at the ground with a stick or look a minute up or downstream.
Absolutely.
But, and then kind of take it from there.
Does anybody in the party have a tracking non-weapon proficiency?
Not me.
I don't think so. Perfect. Well, you follow as best as you can. And you find the occasional sign of civilization. The occasional tree that has been felled in one spot and rolled into another to make crossing over a little channel of water more easy. The occasional awkward signpost, not with any writings or anything, but someone has clearly, wedged a branch in between these two things that points in a direction. You get the distinct impression that this swamp, this moor, around this cursed tower may not be entirely uninhabited by people. This suspicion is confirmed when you run across an old wooden bridge. Now, the end of the last age was 1,500 years ago. No wooden structure from that time should remain, especially in a swamp. So that there is a wooden bridge here is a sign that someone has been tending to this place recently. The bridge has seen better days. It goes across a span that's maybe 60, 70, 80 feet long. And it's got pylons that drive into the waters below. And since then, it's sort of softened and it sort of dips into the water a little bit. And the very tail end of the bridge has sunken enough that its boards are under the water. But it gets you most of the way across the bridge.
What's the quality of construction? Is this a carpenter made this, or is this
it is
a goblin maybe made this?
Someone who had the capacity to hew boards out of trees. It's not just sticks laying across. It is pylons driven into the soft ground and proper boards lashed together with ropes and the occasional nail. Can I get from the person in the front of the party a roll? I need you... Yeah, make me a roll of a 1d10 plus... minus 2.
Minus, yeah.
Yeah, and roll high, please. That is not high enough. As our party is walking across this bridge, something in the waters move. A large something in the waters move. It is a giant constrictor snake that's lurking just beneath the surface. And as you begin to step forward on this bridge, it quickly, with a spasm of its tail, lurches out of the water and attempts to wrap itself around you. Now, it only needs one person. If you just sacrifice Theodore, I'm sure the rest of you can go on your way. But it is going to make an attack roll at +3, and then 1 for surprise and 1 for flanking, and Theodore doesn't get his shield or your dex because you're surprised. So
my dex 14 AC without shield.
+3 +1 for surprise +1 for flanking. It's a modified 20. The giant constrictor snake, I rolled the wrong roll anyway, wraps itself around you, slithering its large body past you and then sort of looping itself back and forth as it begins to squeeze. We should roll for initiative as I give you a little bit of damage. But it's just one big snake. And it's just a natural creature. It's probably fine.
Oh, thank goodness. Just a snake.
Just a snake. You'll take 5 points of damage. Larger and stronger than their cousins. Serpents are this big. They hide their bodies. They spring up and coil their loops around the victim. We're not doing the snow ones, though. Snow serpents are very rare. Well, it's just the regular giant constrictor snake. Excellent. That's not the bird charmer type. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, just a simple initiative roll then.
Can I use my sword? Is it like pinned to my side?
You didn't have a chance to draw your weapon ahead of time, did you? Give me a saving throw versus paralyzation and petrification to see if you can yoink out your blade at your side.
Sorry, but paralyzation or petrification?
It's the same thing. PPD, paralyzation, petrification, and death magic.
Poison and death magic?
Oh. Wait, no. What are my saving throws here?
Petrification, polymorph?
Petrification,
I rolled
polymorph.
a 20.
Thank you. A 20 is a success
Do
no
you want to
matter
reroll
what.
it?
You're perfect. No. 20 is always a success. You can rest your sword free. The large constrictor snake rolls a 16. Okay, it was very, very slowly. Go ahead and roll initiative with your weapon. Although it looks like Vincent might be your first one.
9.
There you go. You are first, Theodore.
Yeah, I start yelling out, "Snake! Snake!"
We
And
noticed.
I start trying to hack at it with my sword.
Okay. Get it with your sword. 16's a lovely blow, and it's a large creature, so you can do your D12 damage to it.
Lovely.
You only have 20 hit points, Theodore? This thing might actually kill you. I don't know why I was thinking the party had like
Says
40
hopefully.
HP. Oh
So
no.
it's +1 damage for magic, and then how many plus for specialization? +2?
2. Yes.
12 damage.
Ooh, that's almost half its hit points. You drive your arming sword deep into the body of the creature, who spasms in pain. Its head lashes back out. Big fangs come. It hisses as it squeezes. Vincent opens up with magic missiles. Doing an automatic.
Shout at the snake as I shoot off these darts. Magic missile for 14 damage.
Almost killing it. Wow, it is near to dead. Gustav, can you finish this off?
I'm gonna walk up and try to hit this thing. Right, let me see. Here.
Short sword does not get through the thick snake hide. It squeezes Theodore and drops itself back into the water. It automatically squeezes for 2d4 damage, which is 4 points of damage, and then plunges into the water with a
Attack of
splash.
opportunity. I see it lifts my.
Yes, you get an
range.
attack of opportunity.
Hi, big one. Here he goes.
That will hit.
Come on.
And it will do 1 point shy of killing the creature as it plunges into the water. Theodore, you must now hold your breath. You can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 1/3 your constitution score. After this, you must breathe or die. If you wish to remain active, like fighting, this time is further halved. What is your constitution score?
10.
So 10 divided by 3 is 3 rounds, divided by 2 is 1.5 rounds. So 1 round. You can fight for 1 round underwater, or you can hold your breath for 3 rounds underwater. If you run out of air, is it a saving throw or die, or is it just instant
No,
death?
I think you just
I
die.
think you just die.
I think you just
I'm
die.
pretty sure you just die.
Wow.
Yeah, drowning is bad. Don't drown. But it's okay. Swamp's not that deep. If you were to somehow escape from the snake, you'd probably be okay, right? That's what I like to think. Let's do initiative.
Is the snake still visible?
The snake is underwater. You can sort of see the area that it has submerged, but it is no longer visible.
How deep am I?
Well, the
Or
water
hot-
here
hot stuff.
is... You've been pulled, and the snake is sort of at an angle, so you're not, perfectly vertical up and down, but you're not that deep. The water here is, it's not more than 10 feet. I do think you can get a good gulp of air. While attempting to hold your breath beyond this time, you must roll a con check each round. The first check has no modifiers, but each subsequent one has a -2 penalty.
Oof.
Once a check is failed, you must breathe or die. Yeah, so it's not it's a sort of save. It's a con check. So yeah, you've got 10 at con. You could afford a 50-50 chance of death if you want to fight it for one round. You only need to do 1 point of damage.
Yeah. If I kill it, do I get to move?
Of course, you still get your move.
Or is that?
Yeah.
I know. I think. Can I try and resist like the squeeze and just chill?
You can just chill. Yes. You're gonna pass your turn. Vincent, you were the first to
Yeah,
go.
I think that's what I do.
Yeah. So the first question I'll ask is it? You said it wasn't visible, so I assume I cannot cast magic missile at it.
Correct.
Okay. I'll dive into the water after these guys.
Oh,
Brave.
You throw yourself into the water. It's murky, it's full of life and materials, but you can easily see the giant snake holding Theodore. It's got its head facing the prey. Its jaw is slowly beginning to unhinge.
Okay. And then I just swim as close as I can. That's my action. Oh, I guess I can... No, that's it.
No, you're good?
Yeah,
I
I
got-
don't think throwing darts is very effective, Danny.
You cannot throw darts underwater. That is correct.
Yep.
Gustav.
All right, I'll throw a dart to the last place I saw it. Here goes.
You're throwing a dart into the water?
Yes, sir.
All right, your dart hits the water and does absolutely nothing. The giant snake unhinges its jaw and begins to put its face over Theodore's face, coming up from the top with its massive... And it's going to try and consume Theodore, who I imagine can still try and, resist a little bit, but you don't want to be too active here, otherwise you're going to burn up all of your oxygen supply. So you can resist being swallowed by the snake, but that's your one round, or you can accept being swallowed by the snake and know that you can hold your breath for a few more minutes, which is a brutal, sad reality you live in, Theodore.
pretty bad.
You wanted to make an attack roll, or do you accept being swallowed by the snake?
Oh, you're giving me the chance to attack.
Well, I'm saying that
Very generous.
you've opted not to make your attack so that you could conserve your
Yeah.
air. It is now trying to swallow you. If you resist, it has to make an attack roll against you. If you try to conserve your air, you stay still and it just begins to consume you.
Alright, so am I in the same situation as before where basically if I attack and I still drown, then this seems a bit pointless. But if you're saying I have a chance to move and not drown,
No,
then
I'm just
I
saying that
guess
you
I would-
can prevent the snake from from getting its mouth wrapped around you. You've already given up your attack roll.
oh,
Yeah.
in that case I think I continue to wait and hope my allies will get it off me because I can't
Okay.
hold my breath for long enough.
That's right. The snake wraps its face over your body, unhinges itself, and starts to make its way down. It's your shoulders are really big. That's the hard part to get past, and so it's taking some time to fully. Next round. Vincent, it's really up to you right
Yeah.
here. Because Gustav, you have more darts to throw, but it's clear they're ineffective against the beast. What do you...
I'll ready my rope tool then. I really cannot swim. I have 7 con, and if I go into water, I might just insta die as soon as we grab.
Yeah, you can hold your breath for 1 round for sure, Z's.
I'm not familiar with the way spells work with water, but I do the best I can.
Well, you definitely know if it has a verbal component, you cannot do it while you're underwater.
Is there a way to like have positioned myself so that I can cast it up on the air and then like?
No, you'd need to be
there's no
underwater
way to
see
get a
it.
spell off at all.
If it does not require a verbal component, if it's only somatic and material, then underwater is fine. But I think Magic Missile requires a verbal component, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is very nice where you can
put
it. You've said it so that I can easily see everything that has a verbal component, which is almost everything. But I guess there's one spell that doesn't have that.
Don't you have any
I'll
melee
cast that
weapons?
one spell. I don't carry melee weapons. That's ridiculous.
Okay. What is your one hypnotic pattern?
Hypnotic pattern, yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Gustav, you are first with your short sword. Do you know how to swim, Gustav?
I do actually.
Well, you can hold your breath underwater for 1 combat round. As long as you're not being dragged underwater, it should be okay, because you could swim down, swim back up, breathe, and maybe swim back. You might be able to get 1 attack per round, but it also might provoke attacks of opportunity. I don't know. You're up first. Give it a shot.
Yes, sir. I'm diving in. I'm going in. I'm gonna hit this thing.
High ground, Neal. High ground.
I'm diving in, Neal.
You jump into the water. Make me your attack against the snake with the thick hide.
Come on.
Let's go.
18 is enough. You plunge your short sword into the side of the creature. You rip it for 3. It goes limp. It's done. You do see that your friend Theodore is partially consumed by the snake. It's got its, mouth over around his shoulders, and he's sort of floating there, not moving very much. Theodore, do you have a swimming proficiency?
I do.
Oh. You all have swimming proficiencies. How convenient. Vincent, you're casting Hypnotic Pattern, but, doesn't matter. The snake is no more. And I think we don't need to slow roll this. You can get him out and get him to safety. It's not too hard to disentangle yourself from the snake, and you can all burst forth from the swamp into the bog air, safe and sound.
The way this works is the hypnotic pattern spell is still used, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There was 4 more damage that you took but didn't get applied to your character.
Yeah, I
There we
think,
go.
yeah.
Lovely. The snake is dead.
I come up.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Coughing and spluttering. Thank you. That almost got me. I couldn't hold my breath for much longer. You see, it had its head around me, its mouth.
Oh, well, I'm not a very good swimmer, so I was a bit afraid to jump into the water, but
What a way to
thank
go
you.
that would have been.
I have to do it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, giant snake handled. Not much more to do than dust yourself off and keep going, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Don't know if there was healing potions, Captain. I say optimistically.
We're going to have to ration those out. Gustav, you take point now.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I look at Theodore. You can walk that off.
I nod and fall in behind Vincent.
Okay. Gustav, buddy. You're at the front of the party now. Would you make me... What's your surprise adjust based on your perception score?
-1.
-1. You have a penalty of 1 to surprise?
Oh, man.
Excellent.
I do.
Give me a D10 plus 1. Minus
Just
1,
roll
yeah.
high, Neal.
Yeah,
Plus 1?
see? Well, -1, but he rolls high. It doesn't even matter. You're so good.
Sure.
You're walking through the swamp at the head of the party, and you notice something off in the distance. It's kind of far. The swamp, with the terrain that goes up and down, it makes it a little hard to see exactly how things are. Makes it a little hard to see exactly how things are, but over one of these ridges and down behind one of these other ridges, beyond some small shrubs and small trees, you notice a very large, slow-moving, rubbery hided brown creature with a light underbelly and a pair of eye stalks that look soft and squishy. It looks like your everyday, ordinary garden slug, only 35 feet long. That's what, like 10 meters long. And, that makes it fairly thick, fairly tall too, maybe, 6 feet thick, 2 meters tall. And it's just sort of slowly oozing itself up a piece of land and down a piece of land and across another piece of land, coming sort of across this path that's reemerged again, this cobblestone road that you're intermittently finding.
Yeah, I'll mention it to the party and see if we can avoid it and go around. I think we should. I don't really like the giant slug. It's a bit dangerous.
What is that?
It's just sort of slooping and slopping very, very slowly.
Give it a wide berth.
You guys just hang out while it crosses.
Okay. We wait for the slug crossing.
Gets to this
that
point
seems sensible to me.
where it can, in theory, see you. And it's going to make itself a little encounter reaction. I would say you are indifferent to the creature. You're not threatening it. You're not hostile. And I don't know how you could possibly be friendly to a slug. And its reaction is 17. It looks in your direction. It senses food, danger, something. It rears back on its body, sort of lifting itself up so it rises 12 feet into the air. The eye stalks go wide. The body sort of spreads out in like a sort of a flat, almost like ribbon type nature as it makes itself exceedingly large. It is a huge creature. And then it brings its body boom down hard on the ground and then rises itself back up again.
Okay. I get
back up.
this posturing. Yeah, we can back up here.
Okay.
We'll let the giant slug win this one.
Do you know how much experience a giant slug is worth?
No idea.
Not enough, probably.
Worth a lot. But you just let the giant slug go on its way. That's fine. It disappears into the swamp. All right. Nice and easy. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. The day is looking better. It's looking pretty good. You're following this trail when you come across more of these bridges. These ones are not nearly as impressive. They're spanning smaller pieces of water, maybe 5 or 10 feet. And instead of proper bridges, it's a series of planks that have just been laid down, sometimes with a rocker something in between them. And it appears to be like a pathway of bridges that leads off of the main road and into the north side of the swamp. Do you have any interest in exploring these pathways of bridges, these signs of civilization?
So it's like a crossroads.
Yeah.
These people might know something if we can converse with them, if they're friendly. But then again, they might not take kindly to travelers.
We have to put our belief in the goodness of everyday people and civilization, I think. Yeah, why not? We could rest up. You've sustained a serious injury.
Okay. You make your way along these little boardwalks and bridgeways. Gustav's still in the front. Theodore's still in the rear. Vincent's still in the safety position in the middle. When you come across what appears to be some sort of camp. There are tents, there are crates, there are barrels, but there's no people around. You must have arrived at this camp when the denizens are out or eaten by giant snakes, and this has just been left behind.
I guess, so I don't want to be looking like we're stealing their stuff or snooping, but I guess we'll walk a little bit closer to see what they have.
Yeah. You can make your way over to their little campsite. There are a couple of barrels of fresh water. There's a couple of boxes with some hardtack bread, just, really, really dry bread that doesn't go bad, but you need to soften it with something, otherwise it's like eating a stone. Some sleeping rolls, some bed rolls, a little bit of gathered firewood, some fire starting tools, a whole bunch of arrowheads without any arrows attached to them, some flint and tinder for starting the fire, whetstones for sharpening weapons, a couple of chests. One of them is open and empty. Another one of them is closed and locked. Yeah, it just looks like a nice little camp for some sort of armed group that might inhabit a swamp.
How many peoples might be here? Maybe two. There's 2 bedrolls.
Just 2 bedrolls, yeah.
We could wait here. They'll turn up eventually, right?
We could, but what if the type of people who would live in such a place would be brigands?
True. Maybe they're not people at all. There's been signed that there are monsters around the area, so there might be orcs or goblins as well.
Could be. Looks too nice to be a goblin area. I think we can double back. And how far of a journey was this?
Maybe 10 minutes. Careful 10 minutes if you're walking back. Probably only 3.
Okay. I think we don't need to. It was an interesting small detour. Let's just continue towards the tower, shall we?
Sounds good.
Very well.
Oh, I will take a quick piece of paper, or like writing implement and writing thing, something cheap, I guess. And I'll write down I'll have Gustav. Do you know how to write?
Yeah.
Okay. Leave a small message saying like we're a friendly group going to explore the tower.
Aye, Captain. I'll write that. Yeah.
Write a friendly message.
We haven't disturbed anything in the camp, but we'll put a rock on it over like a barrel that they have.
Okay. Easy peasy. You keep following this broken trail that stops and starts and stops and starts. You notice the day is getting long. It's taken longer than you would have hoped to come through the swamp. But as the trail turns, you can see in the distance, maybe 1.5 miles off, maybe 2 miles off, part of an old stone tower that rises up out of the swamp. That's not a full tower. It's been broken off at a certain point and tumbled down, or maybe intentionally torn down, maybe knocked down. It's hard to tell from the 1.5 miles off that you are, but you can clearly have a line of sight now to the old ruined tower.
Does this spark any memories?
Not at this point.
I guess how late in the day is it? Do we think we need to camp now, or...?
You could probably get all the way up to the tower before the sun sets.
Might be best
tower.
to camp there.
Yeah, that looks like a nice place to camp.
Okay. We approach the tower. And I think we're going to take another short break right here as we get close to the tower. We'll see you guys on the other side of the break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Voyages of Dusk and Dawn. We are approaching the tower. As we do so, it's getting light. The sun was getting close to setting now, and as the sun gets further down in the sky, a fog rises up from the ground. You make your way to the tower, parting through branches, past another little bridge, and come across this collapsed and ruined tower. It's huge, and it's fallen to the side, parts of it still exposed, much of it torn away. You can see spots in the ground where bricks used to lay, big stones that have since been hauled off, and what remains looks like it's been here a long time. A little stream cuts through a section of the tower. The rest of it lands on good, solid ground. Aside from the little stream, the area around the tower is mostly devoid of swamp, as if the tower was built on better ground than everything else, probably very intentionally. And as we approach the tower, Vincent, you are flooded with so many memories. I don't even know where to start. There's so many.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess the first
Wow,
one.
I had to zoom out. What a tower.
The first one is going to be the coronation of Reyna, the leader of the tower. It's a big room, must be inside the tower. She's up there, a little crown being placed on her head, a silver ring being pressed into her hand. Ferris is up there, in the distance talking. You're sitting in one of the many chairs laid out before her. All around you are warriors, wizards, clerics, humans, elves, other creatures that you can't quite place right now. You're not sure exactly what that mysterious, pale, smooth, hairless being with 3 eyes is, but it's something. But it's out of sight very quickly as you watch the ceremony unfold, and she's anointed as master of the tower. And then,
do I have a sense of who I am yet?
Give me a wisdom check. No.
Okay.
The next memory you get is during the construction phase of the tower. This other one was, clearly after it was built and whatnot. And it is you walking around and speaking, so you can tell that you are the original stone maker. I think you know her as Celestria? Yeah, you know her as Celestria.
Starlight, yeah.
And she's walking through the tower, holding the stone, creating memories, talking about the command words for this door. This door here needs a copper ring. This door here needs a silver ring. She walks past a large statue. It says, this is a golem bound to any silver holder of the tower. She walks past a wall and sort of puts her hand through the wall. This is a slipping wall. She walks all around the tower. This memory takes a long time, showing you slipping walls, spikes, buffeting winds. She talks about how anyone trying to fly to the tower will be repelled by winds. You have to actually approach it by ground. There are magical winds that keep all flying creatures at bay from it. She talks about the forbiddance password. If you want to teleport into this tower, you need to know a very specific password to do so. And she thinks it to herself without saying it aloud. She talks about how the lights in the tower can be turned on and off by anyone with a copper ring. She talks about the spirits that enact some of the tower's other abilities. She talks about the summoned reptiles that act as defenses for the place. Another memory, she stands in a room, a portal room. There are 8 other portals besides the one. The memory starts with her walking into a room, and there are 8 portals along the walls. And she says, like all the other towers, you will need a copper ring to activate these. Each door goes to another tower, and then she calls out which towers each door goes to. Yet another memory is here at the base of the tower, where she talks about she goes down into the basement lair. There's a trapdoor right over here, and heads down into a subterranean room. There's a silver ring that she presses against a section of the wall, and the wall sort of fades from existence for a moment, and she walks into it, and there are portals in this room. And she says the command word to these portals and tells you that they will take you to each of the elemental planes. And then she walks back into the hallway and down further to a spot where there's, carvings and markings. And she points out a specific set of carvings and markings on the ground and says, you'll need a blinking spell or other way to teleport on the other side of this very real wall, where you will find a portal to the shadow plane, a portal to the astral plane, and a portal to the divine plane of Ponos. But you have to blink exactly 10 feet through this wall. Otherwise, well, you know what happens when blinking spells fail. There's another memory about it's a discussion that she is having with herself. It's in the tower. It's in that grand hall where there was the memory of Reyna's coronation. But at the moment, the tower is empty. It looks fully constructed. There's carpets laid out. There's torches burning. But in the memory, you see the torches and they're not giving off any actual heat. They are, magically burning torches. It's a discussion that Reyna has with herself as she wanders around about how this is the last permanent tower they intend to make, unless conditions can be right, the right coordinates can be found. It's better that towers from here on out are made mobile. It's easier to make a mobile tower without the support of the local lords, which, as the war fades from living memory, grows weaker and weaker. And the towers have all been built in lands known and loyal to Lord Ferris. Any other towers would have to be built in places where his name is not so strong and where there is not so much interest. it'll be important. I think the next tower should wander about as needed. There's a longer philosophical discussion, but we don't want to be here all day listening to these philosophies of moving towers.
Okay. On this memory, do I get a sense of how many towers have been made?
Not on the one about the discussion. It just says any more will have to be mobile. But in a previous one, there were 8 other doors. So.
Okay. Seems to imply, including this one, 9 towers at the time.
Right, at the time
Great.
it was made, yes. There is another memory standing above a table, or standing before a table looking down on it. A table with a map of the area. The map is not very much like the map that you have. The Great Bay of Solemn in this map does not exist. It's actually one big land mass everywhere. This jungle doesn't exist, but these mountains up here still do. Some of this northern area looks vaguely similar. And in this memory, she points to places on the map and calls out typical stores of resources and emergency supplies are located here, 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 and here. And then that's that for that memory. And I will point out those places that you can sort of figure out on your map. Since the 2 maps are not identical, but you have a good one and you have memory to another one, would you make me 4 int checks at +4 each, because you have good versions. You have a good map and an actual memory.
Here's 4, and just add 4 to each one.
Right, 21 or higher success. Those are all passes, it looks like. Yeah.
Nice.
These 4 pink circles are locations where there should be some emergency supply stashes or typical treasure stores is what she calls them. And she says these things sort of casually. The memory is like, these are important, these are secret, these are areas where we will stash things for protection, but obviously anyone who has the stone should obviously know about them because you're an inheritor of the line. Like, there's an implication that this is information being handed down to a successor, and this is just the most efficient way to hand information off to your successor, is just point out on the map where these things are.
When I look at this map that they have, you'd mentioned the other swamp to the left possibly being like the sweat and blood of ancient gods or whatnot.
Yes.
Does that look like a swamp during this time? It's this stuff way to the left, near Ferrindal and Nornhall.
This stuff way over here. Yeah. No. That, you mean an int check again? Hold on. I was just assuming a certain roll, but it's possible that you roll something different. Yeah. This does not look like a swamp at the time. Or I guess I should say that the maps are divergent enough that you don't see a swamp in the same place as this. Without the Great Bay to give proper shape to everything, a lot of the landmarks have been changed. The scales are a little bit off. You don't see any swamps marked within 200 miles to the west of you. In fact, most of the interesting things are located in what is now the Great Bay. There's not really a lot of markings in this region at all whatsoever. You do see markings in and around the tower itself that refer to... Where was the side of my... There's a marking that says the battleground, over in this area. And there is a marking. No, there's not a marking. Give me a wisdom check. Nope. There's some other strange markings that you can't figure out what they mean.
Cool.
Yeah, I think your friends, companions, are standing while you do this for the better part of, an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. As the sun sets, the fog creeps in. I imagine they make camp while you sort of stand or sit with your eyes rolled back, reliving the exploration of the tower, finding the nearby treasure marks. And when it's all said and done, you can find the path that leads underground towards where the basement is, where there was that fake wall upon the other side of which had portals to the elemental planes, the secret subterranean room with portals to the elemental planes. And as you, I don't know if you want to walk down there. It does sound a little dangerous. What do you want to do this evening?
Sounds like a good place for shelter.
Okay. We can make camp.
So
maybe we should check for traps.
Yeah, should definitely do that. I'll relay everything that I saw in the visions and mention that the map had strange scribbles. I'll try to think about it and scribble the same ones down if I'm able to do so, and ask my party members if they know of such scribbles.
Let's see, what skills do we have? You don't have that. You don't have that.
I didn't have anything there.
Yeah, well, you never know. Sometimes people have surprising things. Would you each make me wisdom checks at -4? No.
That's before the -4.
These are all bad rolls. No one can make sense
Looks
of
kind
these
of like
old
a
markings.
crocodile, Captain.
Oh yes, I did think it looked like a crocodile.
Well.
Alright. Well, Gustav, I believe this is where your skills will come in handy. Is this place trapped?
Right, I'll take a look-see.
Yeah. You head down into the basement area. What is your chance to detect traps?
60.
60?
No, 65.
65,
Yep.
okay. It's fine. There's no traps in here.
Alright, sounds good. Seems good, Captain.
Very good. Lead on, and we'll set up camp at the basement.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You lead on,
Close the
Gustav,
trap door.
and immediately trigger the trap that is set up in here. I'm sorry, 65 is a great percentage, but 96 is an automatic fail no matter what your skills are. You step into the room. There's a little bit of spider silk, thin, strong, and not sticky enough to really cause you a problem at this point. That leads to another little thing, that leads to another thing that's slowly growing in strength. And when this little spider silk strand is broken, it unleashes a pile of rocks that were held delicately in place above you, collapsing upon you. I need you to make me a saving throw versus breath weapon, please.
Aye, aye.
While he's suffering that, how hard was it to find this basement?
The basement was apparent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The secret wall that you saw in your memory, was definitely a magical secret wall. That's a failure, Gustav?
It is.
Oh no. You will take full damage as a pile of rocks and debris falls down on you from above. This is going to be 14 points.
Ouch. I go at exactly 0.
Exactly 0. Well, you hit the ground. You're collapsed under a pile of rocks and debris. Someone has set traps within this tower. Mundane traps, but traps nonetheless. Up the staircase, Vincent and Theodore, you see him walk forward, and then you hear the rumble, and his little legs are sticking out the back, covered in debris.
Can you tend to his wounds?
Yeah, help me pull these rocks off, and I will attempt the immediate healing check.
Yeah.
Should I?
Yeah. Theodore throws rocks off. You immediately go to bandage him. Make me 17 is not a pass. Unfortunate. It takes too long to get the rocks off of him, and you cannot restore 1d3 hit points to the man. He is unconscious, although 0 HP means he will be at 1 HP tomorrow. But he's down for the night. Dare we press on?
So we're at the stairs now, right?
Yeah, you're at the base of the staircase heading down into the basement. There's a long tunnel that stretches out before you. You can only really see what little moonlight or nighttime light is filtering in from above. So the whole hallway is cast in shadows. And then there's a pile of rubble that has intentionally been fallen here.
Okay. Did we make it down far enough that there's solid ground to camp on?
Yeah. If you just walk over the rubble pile, you should be in the hallway and there's solid ground. Totally.
Okay, great. Let's be very, very careful. I guess first I'll take out a healing potion. Oh, can we administer that to?
Not to an unconscious person. No.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Captain. I reach out for it.
Look, Theodore. It's clear that we have someone who needs it more.
Oh, all right.
But yes, if you could use that stick to very thoroughly make sure this area is good to camp on. And then
First, let's see if if anyone else is here. Quiet. Do you hear anyone? They might have been alerted to the trap.
I'll keep in. I'll listen.
Quiet for now.
Nope.
Okay. I start poking around with a 10-foot pole, Neal.
You poke. How far down the hallway do you want to start poking? Are we just going far enough to get to a camping spot, or do you want to clear the whole pathway?
I mean, I'm going pretty slow, and I'm just gonna keep going until Vincent tells me to stop.
What's your light source?
I have a torch.
Yeah, as long as you cleared out enough space to
Captain?
camp on with the base here, it's good enough.
Yeah, well...
We can do the exploring tomorrow.
Okay, good. Vincent, you've just lived through the memories of Celestria talking about all the defenses of this tower, and you know, around the area where there's that secret wall, there are a pair of gargoyles, carved into the walls. There's a lot of decorations sort of carved into the walls, or at least there were in your memories. Now that you're down here, a lot of these decorations have been hacked apart and destroyed, intentionally disfigured. But once upon a time, thousands of years ago, there was a pair of gargoyles that used to guard an invisible wall, or a hidden wall, that would spring to life if someone attempted to get through that passageway who did not have a silver ring. According to your memory, it shouldn't trigger if you're just walking past them, and also it looks like everything down here has been pretty badly damaged. They might not exist anymore. But you are aware of that one danger that must be here, or that used to be here.
Okay.
All right, we can make camp. And Gustav, unconscious Gustav, will you roll me a D100?
Here goes.
It's as you're making camp that you hear the sound of crackling and talking from up the staircase. It's maybe been 15 minutes since Gustav went down, at most, maybe even less. And coming from the top of the staircase shouts a voice in Valesian. Do either of you speak Valesian? Vincent does a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear the
I
voice.
think of it as like a little bit of high school foreign language. Probably, right?
Yeah. A voice says, "Hello? Is anybody down there?"
Hello, I call back.
Are you okay?
No, we triggered the rock trap.
Is anyone injured?
We've got a man injured.
How many of you are there?
4.
There's a quiet pause for a little bit.
Are you those people that I left a note out for?
I didn't get any notes. Do you wanna...
In case you were, we visited your camp to try to talk to the inhabitants of the camp there.
Well,
You see, we're simply exploring this area.
I see. Well, why don't you come on out so we can talk better?
Say we need help with the injured guy.
I don't want to move the injured guy.
Well, that's okay. You can leave him behind.
Look at Vincent and shake my head.
I'd rather attend to him right now. You're free to come down here. What brought you to this place?
There's a little bit of a pause, and then coming into view at the top of the staircase is a person in chainmail, wielding a torch in one hand and an arming sword in the other. And behind them is a person with a heavy crossbow. You know, the sort of thing that you could take one shot and then it would take like 2 rounds to reload. They have a sword at their side as well. And they're pointing the heavy crossbow sort of down the staircase cautiously, looking down, sees the two of you. The person with the torch looks back over his head, over his shoulder, and says something quietly, as if there's another person behind him. And the two figures begin to move down the staircase. Oh, we're just in the area. You know, like you. They get maybe halfway down the stairs on the other side of the rubble pile from where you are. They see 3 of you. Where's the 4th member of your party?
He's out exploring.
Uh-huh.
I don't suppose you all knew about this trap here.
Well, you suppose right. And, if you know what's good for you, you'll gently place your weapons on the ground and hand over your valuables. And then we'll be on our way, and you can explore this place to your heart's delight. Not gonna find anything, but you're welcome to it. But we'll take the gold.
You've already plundered this entire area. Or researched, I should say.
Researched, sure. Whatever, people come here all the time. I'm not really that interested in the tower. I am interested in rich people with a lot of money and no brains wandering into dangerous swamps. Falling for easy traps. Now, you just put those weapons on the ground, hand over whatever money you've got, we'll be on our way, and you can do whatever it is that you're doing. We won't take any of your supplies or even your weapons, just the gold and silver.
Well, I have a counter proposal. How would you like to drum up some legitimate business? I explained in broken Velician as I tried to make a business deal.
What's your proposition, friend?
Well, you seem like you know this tower well. How about you show us around, and I will pay you I will employ you.
What's to stop me from just taking your money?
We're pretty strong.
I don't know. One man with no armor and no weapons? Another wounded person in light armor without a shield on? And an unconscious guy on the ground. Wow, it looks like you're pretty bad, and we got friends up there. All I gotta do is give the signal, and, well, the two of you will be mincemeat for the swamp creatures. Mind you, I've got no problem killing people for money. I'd just rather do it nice and simple like, you know?
Oh, you have friends. Well, I'm a wizard.
I'm sure you are, buddy.
Do you want a demonstration?
Would you like a demonstration of a crossbow bolt in your belly?
No, I'd rather not.
Well, why don't you just hand that gold over? We'll be out of your hair, promise.
Wouldn't you rather earn it legitimately?
Huh. Would I rather get rich quick and walk away, or sweat and toil for someone else's gain? No, I'll take the quick money, thank you. But I appreciate the offer. You foreigners, you're all alike, you know, coming over here, trying to take the resources and ancient treasures of our land, leaving us with nothing. Probably a scout for the Verasi Empire. Probably doing the whole region a favor, putting a bolt through your belly.
Oh, I hate those guys. I'm from Drekis.
What's a Drekis?
A land far to the west. Alright, I'll go through my own coin purse and I'll bring out what I think is a pretty good amount. I'll very noticeably like dig through my coin pouch for all of it, and I'll dig out 9 gold and 10 silver.
Is it clear that you have more money than that?
No, I like visibly like turn my
empty
personal coin pouch out and dump it out. I figure that's a lot of money.
That's all you got, he says?
That's why we're here. We're exploring so that we can actually get something of value.
Put it in the purse and toss the purse over here.
Fine, and I'll put the money in the purse and I'll toss it up.
All right. They'll take the money, they'll say thank you, and they'll leave.
Did you all set up this trap? Very well done.
Well, thank you. Don't tell anybody about it. Can't wait to catch the next group of people. And good night to you all. And they back out of the area.
All right.
Wow. This is a lesson other players I play with could learn. You can just pay off the bandits, and they will leave. All right. Well, that's that. The bandits leave. They don't bother you. They don't harass you. They don't wait outside to attack you or anything. They take the money and fuck off. You're a little bit shorter on the cash, but hey, avoiding the combat encounters is the theme of today's session, and you're free to loot the tower to your heart's extent. The next morning arises. The fog clears. The swamp is pretty, you know, as much as a moor can be. Yeah. Gustav will be at 1 HP. You can give him a potion for 2d4.
So I'll let you roll it, Gustav. Good luck.
Alright, surely it will be bigly. 2d4?
Yeah. 2d4 plus 2? 2d4 plus 2.
All
That's not bad.
right. Okay.
Half hit points. All right, party. You're at the Tower of Ferrindal. You've seen memories of all sorts of stuff. There's supposed to be some portals down here. The rest of the tower up there is collapsed and fallen. There's 4 treasure sites that you've gotten from this. One of them is the Hall of Heroes, which folks were asking about earlier. You've got Celinda Falls nearby as well. Some other strange markings that could be interpreted or could be left alone. Do we want to explore these basements and these portals?
To my knowledge, we don't have a silver ring to get through the door, but it would be useful to see what a door looks like. So I think we should go down this hallway, where surely the gargoyles are not here anymore.
You get to a section where you remember the gargoyles being pointed out, and they are not there. There's a little podium on each side where the gargoyles used to sit. One of the podiums is cracked and damaged. The other is mostly intact. The gargoyles are definitely gone. And the section of wall in between them is, well, in the memory, it was like a wall that was then a hand was pressed to it and the wall faded. Sort of like the Waltrud's wondrous walls that you've been interacting with. But in this situation, the wall is just, it's gone. It's vacant. And the room beyond has been badly desecrated. You can see there are 4 portals built into the walls of this room. It's sort of like a rounded room. There are 4 portals carved into the walls of this room. You can see magic runes indicating a plane of earth, water, air, and fire above, one above each one. But the portals, the bulk of the portals in which the magic runes are carved, in which the silver and gold that helps channel magic through the portals would be inlaid, in which the actual markings that channel everything are badly damaged, and the portals are clearly non-functional at this point in time. Someone has come through and ripped out all the silver and gold and smashed the stones and rendered this place unusable. There are markings on the ground around you. What looks like it was probably once a summoning circle of some kind down here. The ceiling is maybe 20 feet tall, nice and vaulted with big arches. But again, the magic circle in the middle of the room has had the wealth stripped out of it and has had someone take chisels and hammers to it to break apart any of the symbols of magic. A few little runes still stand, but for the most part, it's been defaced, destroyed, rendered moot.
Does the damage look recent or hundreds of years ago?
Hundreds of years, yeah.
Okay, do I know how such a wall that should have been invisible becomes not invisible?
Trying to find, here it is. You are aware of the fourth level spell, Illusionary Wall. Spell creates the illusion of a wall, floor, or ceiling, which is permanent until dispelled. It appears absolutely real when viewed, even magically, as with clerical spells or true seeing or its equivalent, but physical objects can pass through it without difficulty. So that's a 4th level spell. It looks like a wall, but it's not really here. What she was doing was there is a wall here that needs to be activated to then vanish entirely. So that is not a spell you are familiar with. That's got to be at least a 5th, probably more likely a 6th or 7th level spell to do that. That's one of these many tower defenses that were built. How you would prevent it from happening, maybe just destroying the wall itself, burrowing through it, breaking through it, maybe maybe it's the rubble on the ground. Maybe if you were just to clear out the rubble from where the wall was, it would pop back into existence, trapping you permanently on one side or the other. Or maybe it was dispelled via a spell. Maybe when the rest of the tower came tumbling down, the magic that bound the tower together broke this section of wall and broke some of the other defenses. Not certain.
All right. Well, gentlemen, it looks like this area has likely been thoroughly looted, but they probably didn't know about certain areas that I may be aware of. So why not? Why don't we? The least we can do is visit all the tower.
Sure.
Sounds sensible.
Where would you like to go?
I think we'll start from the right side and move our way around.
Yeah.
Left, as if we were climbing the tower, except it's horizontal.
Right. Except it is fallen to the ground. Okay. You walk the width and breadth of the tower. This gap here is about 20 feet. You'll have to wade through the water. The stones here, as you can see, are quite massive. It's what, like 5 feet long and 3 feet tall stones. They're very thick, hard to move, and yet you can see that some of them have been hauled off or at least broken apart. There's lots of little rubble and smaller stones lying around, indicating that, like all things in the old world, when something gets knocked down, it just gets recycled and used for something else. The stones that made up this tower are probably used in nearby villages or towns or maybe even distant cities, because good stone is it's easier to take than to make. But as you can see, there's nothing left here. There's no cloth, there's no metal, there's no weapons or potions or scrolls. It's been exposed to the elements for at least 1,000 years, probably 1,500 or so. Anything that could have been of value in here has long ago been stripped, except for the very stones themselves. And even of that, most of them are taken. It is a barren wasteland of once great magic.
I knew of a few areas where there were hidden walls. Can I look at those and see what happened to them?
Yeah, you can sort of piece together where they were. They would have been in like the middle sections of the tower, so like somewhere over here. All that's really left is the outer walls of the tower, which are the really big stones. All of the inner walls are ripped apart. So where the illusionary walls were would be, up in the air in a section that just doesn't exist anymore. Gone. Destroyed.
All right. Are there any examples of places where one would need to put a ring to open a door?
There is the room that would have held the portals, which would be this floor right here. This is the floor that used to hold the portals that went to the different towers. You didn't need to use a ring to open a wall, but you did need to use a ring to go through a door. And while this, it would be like right here is where one of the portals would have stood, and another one would be here. Another would be like sort of on this section that is, vertical at this point in time. You can see the markings of the portal still more or less semi-intact right here. But like the other areas where there were portals, the runes have been damaged intentionally, and the precious metals that hold all the magic together have been stripped. Unfortunately, it is all gone.
By looking at it, do I get to figure out how one would be able to use a ring to activate such a thing, or is it too badly damaged to determine that?
Give me... Let's see. You don't have a spellcraft proficiency. You've never seen them activated. You don't have the teleport spell, do you?
No.
So I'm gonna need a non-proficient.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the roll for you here. Spellcraft. It is an int check at -2, but since you don't have it, I need you to make an int check at disadvantage and then subtract 2.
Sure. 14.
Ooh, not great. Yeah. You're not sure. Somehow you need a ring. It's a portal. You could make a guess at it, but you don't have any surefire knowledge.
I think the thing I have in perspective and reference is way back at that island in the south. There might have been a place where, thinking back on it, you used a ring to activate something.
Yeah.
Does referencing that thing that we saw with this here, can we figure out where a ring goes and like what we'd have to do with the ring to do something?
Yeah, with that context, it was just a proximity thing. You know, you just have to get the ring either touching the portal or right up near the portal, and it's just a nearby proximity activation.
Okay. All right. Well, wandering the Tower of Old, I shake my head and say, "What a shame! How the mighty have fallen."
There was also the room that had the other portals, so the Shadow Plane and the Astral Plane, that were
Yes.
kind of solid wall that you have to blink through. Do you want to go and see if we can break through, or do it?
That place might still exist. Yeah, let's go to that spot.
Yeah. You head down into the basement again, walk through the long hall, testing for traps as you go. Can I get another trap check from our rogue?
Sure. Do I need?
Wait, sorry. I roll it in secret. That's right. It's 65%. Excellent. You walk a little bit further down the passageway, and yes, there is another set of traps. Some of these stones here have been clearly broken apart, and a false bottom in place, like a little pit trap. You can tell the grouting around it has been intentionally damaged and filled with like shitty fake grout. There is a section maybe 4 feet wide in this 10-foot wide hallway, right in the middle section, where you're fairly certain it's just a pit with like a fake, with some stones gently laid on sticks or something. And if you step on it, you will fall into God's knows what. Do you want to destroy it? Just walk around it? What do you want to do with that?
I'll grab some bricks and start piling them up, or slowly nudging them away and see where the pit is at.
Yeah.
See if they fall.
Yeah. You can put some rocks until eventually the weight becomes so much that the floor collapses, drops maybe 10, 15 feet down, splashes in some water. And with the torch that Theodore has, you can wave it down there and see it is just it's a nasty little fall, and there's little spikes, just spiked sticks, not with metal tips, but just sharpened sticks put into the earthen walls on either side to catch anyone that might fall. And then it's just water down below. Yeah.
Gosh. Anything shining?
Anything shiny in the watery, spiky pit? There's just the glint of the firelight off of the water down below. But if someone has fallen into here and drowned, there could be treasure down in the water. Maybe you should go check it out.
If I cannot see it, I think it's good enough for the fishes, I think. I'll leave it there.
Right.
How big is the gap across, Neal?
It's 4 feet across, 4 feet wide, but the passageway is 10 feet, so you could easily walk around it if you want.
Alright, yep. I'll walk around it and keep testing for trap as we go on.
Yeah. That is the last trap that you come across. You explore the length of the tunnel. There's some supply rooms down here that are empty, of no value. But you do find the spot with the markings on the ground that indicate behind a wall to your right. If you blink or teleport 10 feet, there should be a passageway or something that leads to a portal to the Shadow Plane, Astral Plane, and Divine Plane of Ponos, God of Suffering. And the section of wall here is intact and undamaged.
Interesting. From my memory, was there a silver key required to go through something? Or silver ring, rather.
The silver ring was needed to activate the portals, but you just needed to blink or teleport or somehow phase through the stone to get to the passageway that would lead there.
Or take a pickaxe to the wall.
Or maybe you take a pickaxe to the wall, yeah. Did you bring a pickaxe?
Nope.
I have a crowbar, I have hammer, I have pitons taken.
Using pitons through 10 feet of stone. It's gonna take like months.
Well,
Yeah. Well, good to know that there's likely something that age didn't get to. And I'll mutter, but I'm not really much into a plane of suffering. That sounds like it sucks.
it's a divine plane. It's a godly plane. But there's also the shadow plane and the astral plane. At the very least, you could loot the portals for all their treasure. On the other hand, if you do tunnel to it and someone else comes along with access to those planes, it'd be dangerous. I don't know. Is it best to keep it a secret for yourself? Is it best to explore it and see if it's there? Is it best to try and open it up and rip out its treasures for yourself? I mean, there could be other things that were left in that room too, right? Like what if someone just happened to leave a stash of scrolls in that room, or books, or their research notes? There could be anything beyond.
Yeah, from my general knowledge, do I know how portals work? Like, if you go through a portal to the astral plane, you go to the astral plane, can you come back?
Generally, a portal is two ways, like a proper doorway. If you walk through it, you should be able to walk back. Sometimes other planes of existence are very hostile. Like, if you go to the plane of fire, you'll probably just die, like, immediately if you're not prepared to live on the plane of fire. So, similarly, the astral plane could be hostile or semi-hostile. I don't know if you've done much research into interplanar travel. Astral plane is not associated with, like, instant death like the fire plane is, but it is usually, like, talked about like a vast expanse of nothingness. So if you walked through it, you might be okay, but you'd be like right next to a portal of some kind.
Okay. Assuming in wizard school they taught us a rudimentary understanding of all these planes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know what the astral plane is all about? Like, do you just walk into nothing? Are there civilizations in the astral plane?
It's said to be the space between the world you live in and the locations of the gods. It's sort of like a vast expanse between worlds that doesn't really have anything. It's not really purposeful, and yet things find their way there. And so there are creatures that inhabit the astral plane, but it's not like a heavily populated area. It might just seem like a vast foggy expanse, and then every now and then you run into something. It's sort of tied to like the realm of spirits, but not quite. It's more of like a crossroads between planes. It's like the medium through which interplanar travel happens.
Okay. I asked the party, any of you worship Phonos? And then I think to myself about if I know anything about this deity.
Of course.
I shrug. Not really a godly person.
The god of pain and suffering.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, his philosophy is that, like, all invention, all construction, all progress in the world is made to alleviate suffering. The more people suffer, the harder the work and the greater their achievements. Like, suffering is a motivating factor that is good for everybody. Some people that are into Ponos are like evil torturers and, maniacal people, but also like your average gym bro is into Ponos, like no pain, no gain. You like gotta sweat out that stuff. Like you gotta work through the hardship and then you get like real big, swole muscles and whatnot. Ponos can also be invoked during times of like emotional suffering or turmoil. He's a nice god to call upon if you want to curse someone. If you're like really mad at somebody, you might want to invoke Ponos' name or make an offering to Ponos to bring about their personal suffering. Sometimes to alleviate suffering, but not usually. He's the son of Malchus, the god of, chaos and disorder and rugged independence, and Nadinus, the god of nature and the natural ways of things happening.
All the deities you could build a portal to. Ponos, huh? I kind of mutter to you two.
Perhaps it was built here for a reason. They said there was that great battle here. Must have been great suffering.
And portal to the Shadow Plane, which is said to be like it's not a plane that it was ever, according to lore, according to theory, it's not intended to exist. It's a plane that exists as like a reaction to the world that you live in existing. It's the shadow that is impressed upon the astral plane or upon some other area. So the shadow plane should be a representation of the real world around you, but sort of not fully complete or lacking detail, without life, but still some version of some, analog to the real world.
Okay.
Yep.
Would you say this day of light exploration is light enough that people could get a rest tonight?
Oh yeah, you've just been walking around the tower. Easily get some HP tonight.
Cool. I think we'll stay one night here, and then we'll go to the crossroads to rest up the rest of the way.
Okay.
Sound good, you guys?
Sounds good.
You have a healing proficiency. Everyone can gain 2 HP. And then
Yes, healing and herbalism.
3 HP. Look at that. Good call. And then we head back to the crossroads. All right. Just a quick jaunt through the swamp. Not going to be problematic at all. Well, would you look at that?
A little bit concerned by the quick jaunt through the swamp. So I'll ask, which way does the wind blow?
The wind blows sort of this way.
Oh, that's very convenient. All right, let's take a nice day off and just fly over there.
Fly?
I'll cast Ride the Wind.
Oh.
I'll float over there.
Sure. Using a bit of rope, you bind yourselves together, throw some Ride of Wind in the air. How long does it take? How long is the duration?
Let's see, that is
70 minutes?
8 hours?
8 hours. A turn is 10 minutes, so 80 minutes and almost an hour and a half.
Sure, yeah.
Nice.
Would you rule that if I were to cast it again during the duration, it would just extend it?
Yes.
Or replace it?
It would refresh it. Yes.
Okay.
You got multiple
I
castings?
think we deserve a nice day off. So I'm going to... I think this would make a lot of progress. So I will do 4 Ride the Winds the day.
Oh my god.
This swamp sucks.
Well, there goes my encounters again. You can float along at about 7 miles per hour. You've got like 10 miles to go, so it only really takes you an hour or two, as the breeze picks up and slows down until you end up at the crossroads. Free and clear of the giant slug, which I was really excited to bring back. Great. Just avoid all my encounters. Not bother.
Is Riding the Wind a low enough excursion activity that we can get a rest in tonight?
Not for you because you're casting spells, but for the others, yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'll tend to their wounds at the night if nothing too exciting happens.
Yep, nothing too exciting happens. You just hang out at the edge of the swamp away from all the dangers, avoiding all the people, avoiding all the problems, and it's fine. You can make camp here. Well, party, you have successfully completed like 2.5, maybe even 3 sessions of activities that I had planned. We're definitely going to have to stop here so I can prepare whatever's going to come next. And maybe our other party member will have caught up from their deadly disease and catch up to you. Or maybe they will just suffer and die. We're not certain. We'll know next week. So I know what to prep. Where do we want to go next time? What do we want to do? We've got 5 markers on a map that could be of interesting points. There's always going back to dig out the portals underneath the tunnel, underneath the tower. What do you want?
Who is my vote? Seems like it might open the way for some of the other places we're looking into.
What was your vote, Theodore?
The tomb, at Sliding Falls.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
yeah.
me, the yellow.
That seems good. That's where we might get the ring. Good idea.
Can we rest in town?
Which town would you like?
Slash XP.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you want to go back to Karo to rest and recover?
I mean, what do you think? I mean, that's just the closest town, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is the closest town, but we're going in the right direction. We asked about
East
East
Haven
Haven Brook at some point or another, just through random conversation. Is that a nice town?
Yeah, it's about
like couple days.
Yeah, a day and a half walk from here to get to East Haven Brook. By its name, it sounds like a lovely place.
It's got haven in it. It must be nice.
Yeah, and there's a brook that runs through it. So, a little creekside town, pretty chill out in the grasslands. Should be a lovely spot.
How can you say no to that? We should go that way.
Okay. Well, I have been tracking experience. Okay, so that is going to be 2,000 divided by 3 people is what, like 666 each or something? Let's call it 667 each. And then our fighters in the party, you defeated 6 hit dice worth of snakes, so 60 XP times your level. Our rogue successfully used 1 detect traps, so that's 200 for the rogue. And our wizard cast 1, 2, 3, spell levels worth of stuff. Magic Missile and Ride the Wind. That's 300 for the wizard. So that's XP. And we will start. We'll pick up our next session in East Havenbrook, on our way to the waterfall, and it'll be a nice long journey across the hostile terrain, maybe over a mountain pass and up towards a waterfall. Or the party will skip all the dangers and just get straight to the loot. Find out next time. That's it. Catch you guys in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
I was told there would be loot just lying on the floor here.
Ooh.